So here we are, doing a follow-up, doing a double tactical, the Adidas Tactical ADV in 8.5. I did the review in 9 for the 2019 that you see up, so like to do a follow-up in the size that fits us. And like I say in every Adidas boot review, size down 1/2 size. It's not perfectly 1/2 size smaller, but it's more on the 1/2 size smaller than it is being closer to your size. So always go that way. Everybody always asks me, are you sure? Yes, I am sure. Grant?
Are you sure?
I'm sure.
I did go 10.5, and at Burton's, I'm an 11. Some companies an 11.5, but so comparing this to a Burton fit, for me, a half size is perfect.
Yes, and same here. I'm a 9 in Burton, down a few sizes. I'm a 9 in Burton, and the 8.5s fit me great. They fit more like, I would say like 8.6, or I don't know how to say this. Let me rephrase that. I would say they almost feel like a 9. The 8.5s feel more like an 8.85 or something like that, where they're almost a 9, but actually I'm a true 9 on the Brannick scale. And like I went in and did the whole thing and, you know, checked out my foot length is a true 9, and my left is just like 8.9. It's almost 9. And I usually just put in a little foam in the heel, just like about that much, and then it fits like my right. Then these 8s fit me perfectly. They just barely touch the front when I'm standing straight up, and when I lean forward, they just barely not touch. And so it's perfect for me. I love the 8.5 fit, actually better than a Burton 9 fit, because I feel like it's just perfect once it packs out. And you're just getting started with these.
Yep, I used SLX the last 2 seasons, which is a great boot. But so far, I think the quality of these, I mean, they seem really solid built. I like the outer a lot. It almost feels like an actual leather, even though it's synthetic. I like the minimal styling. That's a personal preference. But the feel is very similar in stiffness, maybe marginally stiffer than the SLX from last year. Again, I've only used these today. Today's my first day on the mountain, so
no, and
everything's new.
Burton can go stiff and soft. Like they're weird. Like some years their boot will be stiff and it'll be like the flex they say it is, and then other years they'll change some things up and it'll get softer.
Right. And
one of the cool things is, like, if we're comparing your SLXs to this, they have this articulating cuff just like the SLXs. Actually, it's the designer from the designer from Burton did these boots, Mike Fox, and he's amazing. And they have like a lot of things that I loved from old Burton boots. Like, remember the Ion when it had that insert and it was really like plush and cush?
The thick EVA.
Like it had that, and then it also had this like center area where you could put in different types. You could put like gel, air.
I don't remember that, yeah.
Oh, it was amazing. Or just leave it out if you wanted a little more minimal. But this is kind of like that. That was the Ion used to be one of the most cush, shock absorbent boots in the O's. It was like that. And then it switched to their EST, kind of like really small sole to give you more board feel, which is great too. But I just, you know, I feel this has like the shock absorption of the old Ion.
Right.
And the response and feel of the old SLXs that I used to have in the O's, that were probably one of my favorite boots of all time. Those and those Ions, they were just amazing together. And
and do you notice any difference in those from the ones you had last year?
No, it's the exact same boot.
Gotcha.
The one thing, did you notice any, like on your toe side turn, did you notice any downward pressure right here on the bridge of your foot?
Only pressure I had was here at the beginning, and I loosened up the liner and that went away, and hopefully over time that will stay away. But no, nothing at all. Only I generally tighten down my liners as tight as possible, and that was a mistake for the first day with these, because I got a lot of pressure on the outside there, but they were fine. My feet feel great now.
Yeah, I mean, I always love, like with new boots, riding them a little loose at first and letting them break in. But some people do. Oh yeah. some people do have problems with pressure on the top of the boot. And I've you know, one thing I do is I leave it a little loose to start out with. But two, if that doesn't work, you can just unlace all of this, take this tongue out, and just start bending the hell out of it back and forth from, you know, about here all the way to here. And it softens up the response a little bit, you know, but it basically eliminates that downward pressure. And that could work for some people. You just kind of start working from here, then try it, you know, then work it a little further, try it, work it a little further. So you're still keeping this stiff part, and sometimes that helps. But, you know, it's risky. Only if you truly love this boot would I recommend doing that. Maybe it might just be best to get rid of it and get something else if you've got that downward pressure.
I didn't experience any of that, but are these liners heat moldable? Yes,
they're some of the most like customizable liners out there in the industry right now.
Cool.
They're very heat moldable. You can do a lot with it, and that's another thing. A lot of people give up on their boots after trying it. You know, sometimes you can work through hot spots with, you know, a heat molding. It does detract from the overall longevity of the boot. You know, it's like adding 10, 15 days to it.
Subtracting?
Or subtracting, yeah. Or, yeah, on your counter, you know.
Yeah.
But these, I've had these, I rode these primarily all last season. I probably put like 80 days on those, and, you know, tried some other boots here and there, but mainly rode those. And they're still holding their flex. They just never let, these remind me of the old SLXs that used to be able to just handle like 200 days, no problem. They start to get fun at about 50 days. You know, you're like,
gotcha.
Wow. You know, so in a time like where the industry does so much for just giving you comfort day one, these might not have the day one comfort that a lot of other boot companies do, but they have that day 100 longevity. So it's always a toss-up between what you want to do. But if you ride a lot, or if you want to keep a boot for a really long time, you know, boots with articulating cuffs like this are amazing. The articulating cuff also just helps with, you know, just like forming around your foot and giving you good response and good turn initiation. It alleviates, sometimes alleviates pressure points because it articulates with you as well. So that's kind of a cool thing too. But, you know, we're gonna, almost the whole crew now on the Good Ride has the Tactical ADV for a couple reasons. One, you know, we like this boot, we love its longevity, but two, we kind of want everybody to have the same boots so we're all having the same experience when we're on the same binding and same board. So it's just really apples to apples across the board. And also, God, this color looks great this year.
I love it. Yeah, I mean, so far these boots are great. Day one is super enjoyable. So hopefully they hold up, like you said they will.
We'll see. We're going to do the Grant test. I'm very careful with all my gear. Grant's,
I'm okay with boots. I generally wear the same boots. I don't have multiple pair of boots, so I'll wear these all season this year.
This kind of sums up Grant. Grant's like, oh, I'm going to try to keep it mellow this first run and just kind of get warmed up. First run of the season, then just away he goes. Just fucking, just straight lining. I saw him get air, and I was like, okay, yeah.
Trying to get to the bottom of the mountain in one piece. It's kind of bumpy out there in some spots, but
way to keep it mellow, Grant.
Yeah.